1 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Hi, oops, what? United States
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. All righty, the first order of business is to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Okay,
Second.
second. Okay, the motion has been made to approve the agenda as printed here by Jordan and seconded by Ed. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the agenda is approved. The next order of business is approval of the minutes of the April 20th meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as well.
Second.
Okay, the motion has been made to approve the minutes by Jordan and seconded by Elizabeth of the last meeting. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say aye. The minutes are approved from the last meeting. And the petition before us is docket number BOA 51823, number 1, to consider the petition of Philip and Rebecca Schumacher, Schumacher Trust, and also represented by Blake Vandermoon, Mike Sherman Plumbing, who seek a variance regarding the following: to allow for a reduced setback for a subsurface sewage treatment system drain field, 2-foot reduced setback from a property line to the drain field instead of the required 10 feet pursuant to chapter 13.6 of the Winona County zoning ordinance, SSTS standards, adopted by the reference to the Minnesota rules. Okay, is there a presentation?
Yes, good afternoon, everybody.
Afternoon.
And I think you read the title accurately. The only thing I'd point out is as far as new information that has come since the original packet, we've put a brief memo together that outlines the correspondence that we received from an advanced septic inspector that we contract with through Olmsted County. Since the system that's proposed is considered a type 4, that's an advanced system. The MPCA requires that for permit issuance, we need an advanced inspector. So therefore, the two individuals that we contract with perform that duty for us. And in the comments from Mr. Chad Knutson, essentially is recommending approval. However, a couple of things that they want to point out with this permit once it is issued. One is to verify the existing septic tank, if that's going to be used in conjunction with this performance system as a trash tank. The other thing is just pointing out kind of the restrictions and topography that's associated with it. So I will quickly go through the slides, and also I have a quick video clip that actually is a walkthrough of the parcel in the yard, and I think that's important to note, just the number of factors that are in play with this site. This parcel is located in Wilson Township. It's a part of a platted subdivision that is called the Pleasant Valley Terrace. It was created in the very early 1970s. This happens to be located along the very end of Township Street or Road. It's considered Knollwood Lane. You can see the cul-de-sac. The parcel owned by the Schumachers is kind of that diamond-shaped parcel. And you can see it's heavily wooded, and it's bordered by the Winona Country Club, located to the west of the. It's approximately 0.7 tenths of an acre, and the address is 22591 Knollwood Lane, and the parcel number. The house is a 3-bedroom single-family house. The current septic system consists of a septic tank and dry well. It's located south of the house. The proposed new system would coincidentally be located to the south as well. There's an existing dry well, which is basically a second tank on a system. It was very popular in the 60s and early 70s. A dry well is typically a bottomless tank, or it's perforated to allow retention of solids and the dispersal of liquids and fluid. That's essentially a rough premise of a dry well. They were considered non-conforming in 1996. So all systems that are inspected currently would be considered failed once they identify a feature like that. A standard one system is basically straight up soil sizing based on estimated flow. The applicants have had a number of contractors out to the site to come up with the best solution. And most of them, I believe, have conducted an evaluation that says a type 1 is not possible on this parcel due to the limited size, soil, topography, other factors. In this case, a type 4, which is utilizing an aerobic pretreatment unit, is proposed, and that's considered a type 4. It's actually adding treatment to the tank, where then you can take liberties with the amount of drain field or the soil separation, because you're providing a cleaner effluent to it. And that is important in sites like this, where then you have less soil profile to work with and less square footage to work with. That's kind of the trade-off or the compromise. The packet contains the site plan that kind of shows preliminarily how that would be laid out on the site. And some quick pictures that show kind of where the pink flags are, where various soil borings and other data had been collected. You can see just the golf course looking to the east, and the neighboring property on the lower left-hand corner, and then looking back in the other part of the yard, looking back at the golf course. And very limited amount of square footage. Again, a couple of pictures showing the surrounding terrain. In the lower right hand is showing the location of the well. And the well is significant in that you have to be at least 50 feet away from that with any part of the septic tank or any part of the soil treatment area. Okay, we'll see how the video goes here. See, it's just kind of walking the premise. We are on Knollwood Lane in regards to the variance request on behalf of the petitioner, Schumachers, as well as representatives from Mike Sherman Plumbing. And this request is being requested in order to replace an existing septic system. And we are kind of currently standing in the backyard of the property in which the replacement work would occur. And I'm just attempting to show kind of the conditions and terrain that we're trying to deal with in order to upgrade the existing system. Immediately to the west is the golf course. East, I guess. And we have west. No, that'd be west. Adjacent properties to the south, residential, and all other sides there. The applicants are requesting a 2-foot setback from a property line instead of the required 10 feet. That would be the minimum in order to install this performance-based pre-treatment system that would be a feasible system to install based on these conditions. Let's see where some soil borings have been conducted. I believe this is the general vicinity of the existing system. And we're circling now into the right yard, the street approach for the property. Showing the limited area that would be. Okay, that should conclude the video footage.
Where was the well, actually?
The well was on the other side of the
Other
house.
side,
Yeah,
okay.
it'd be, I guess it would be on, be considered
Street
the
side.
north side.
Or north.
There it is right there.
Oh, yeah.
In your packet is a Wilson Township acknowledgement form. It was signed by the zoning administrator, Pat Pawlowski, and they indicated that they have no comments regarding this
Why was
request.
it sent to Wilson?
I mean, how come Wilson Township does not have the variance versus
Right.
Winona County? Winona County, since we enforce and regulate septic systems, that falls under our domain.
Oh, okay.
They do not have a septic program. So essentially we still perform all permit issuances, take action on complaints, and as well as take action now on variance requests. So they have been informed. They're offered ample opportunity to be heard and to weigh in on this process too. So.
And why is this coming up now as the property is changing hands?
Yes, I think you could direct that question to the property owners. They are here, but I believe it's in regards to potentially a transfer of the property, or maybe they just are experiencing problems with the system too. That's something you if they want to share, they can certainly do that.
The system isn't necessarily failed now. It's just,
It is, I believe it's considered failed because of the presence of a dry well tank that's in
that can
use.
continue until the property changes hands.
Correct. Until official notice or a trigger action such as a point of sale, then that's a point in time where something would have to be initiated.
If it transfers within the family, then that's not, triggers it.
It does. It still does, unfortunately. Yeah. Okay. I guess in kind of wrapping it up, the Board of Adjustment shall consider all materials and testimony, making the findings that support the decision. The staff report and the staff analysis that's been drafted for your consideration supports granting the variance. Should the Board of Adjustment grant the variance, staff has recommended the inclusion of 2 conditions in the report. And with that, any other questions? Okay.
Anybody have
I
any
was
questions?
curious what a trash take is, but should I ask the septic person?
Yeah, that might be a good question. That's getting into the technical details. And with that, we have the property owners as well as the head representative of Mike Sherman Plumbing, Blake Vandermoon, here to answer any of the other questions that I didn't cover. So, okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Eric. And would the owners or petitioners like to make a presentation at this time? And
To clarify,
just give for the record,
Oh.
just give your name and address.
Philip Schumacher and the owner of the property with my wife.
Okay.
So to clarify, this system started to fail over 3 years ago. So in the dry well is the culprit. I mean, the perforations have obviously filled. So we're pumping every 2 to 3 months. We have no intention of selling the property, but we want to bring it up to the proper standards, especially if in the future we do sell, but we're not in that situation or desiring to sell. Anything else?
Going out in the body bag.
So, all right. Any questions for me?
Any questions for Philip? If not,
Thank you.
Yep. And I guess with that,
Motion to open the public hearing.
okay,
Second,
okay. The motion has been made by Jordan and the second by Kelsey to open for the public hearing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the meeting is hereby open to the public. Is there anyone that wishes from the public to express their interest, concerns, questions at this time? For the second time, is there anyone who wishes to present or ask questions or state their interest at this time? And for the third and final time, is there anyone who wishes to present concerning the petition before the board? BOA 5/18/23-1.
Motion to close.
Second. Okay, a motion has been made by Jordan and seconded by Elizabeth to close the public hearing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. The meeting is closed to the public and open to discussion of the board members. All I know is I was wondering why it took so long to download it onto my computer and and there's a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
A lot of pictures, so yeah, a lot of stuff.
Did you want to know what a trash
yeah, I
tank
would
is?
like to know
Well,
what a
that's right.
trash
Yeah,
tank is.
I was
I'm
interested
curious
too.
about that.
Okay,
And if that, and then is regulated also, or,
how much trash can you put in?
Blake Vandermoon from Mike Sherman Plumbing.
Okay,
To answer the question, the trash tank is nothing more. It's just a septic tank that's going to catch all the solids before it goes into the pretreatment. Because the pretreatment is a much finer treatment system. We can't have all the debris plugging that up. So it's basically the first chamber of a tank. It's a pre-filter.
okay, so it would still be used.
Yeah, it will still
Okay.
be used. And we did have it checked out last year to see if it was safe to reuse. Unfortunately, the form did not get emailed to us. I checked with him this morning and he's going to have that to me within 2 days, stating that that tank has been checked. That was Mr. Larry Mueller from Cardinal Pumping. He checked it out, he pumped it out, inspected it with a mirror and gave it his blessing that it's still safe to reuse. That will help the system. It is basically it's going to have two trash tanks. It'll have a smaller one in the pre-treat, but this will just help it to not have to be pumped and serviced as often. And then I did want to just say that, yeah, the system has been failed for 3 years. I feel for the homeowners have been very patient. They've had multiple backups and issues that have been causing them trouble. But yeah, I just wanted to thank them for their patience and thank the county for helping in the situation. Any other questions?
any other questions?
Is this type of proposed system fairly common?
It's getting to be more common. I want to say this is going to be the fourth system that I've done in the past 3 years this way. And it's usually common when we have difficult soils. The reason is just because it's much better treatment. So if the soils aren't as good, we're putting in a safer water. So then the soil doesn't have to work as hard since we have less good soil to work with. But yeah, typically we see them on steep hills where a lot of the good black dirt is kind of washed off the hill. That's typically where I see to get them installed. But they're getting more common, unfortunately.
Thank you.
Yep, you bet.
Thank you.
So with the trenches on the property line there, that from his video looked like it was a steep slope. And so then is there also some kind of landscape or erosion control plan that goes along with that?
Yeah, there will be straw blankets. And then if we need some riprap also, but they'll be seeded immediately with straw blankets holding it for erosion control. Because yeah, without that, if we had one good rain, all our hard work could be down on the golf course. And we've had to put them on steeper slopes already, and it has worked out fairly well, as long as we get that on there right away. And it's nice, this one's only two trenches, so it's not a terribly big system. So that's helping us.
And then there's service agreements for as far as
Yep,
servicing
yep,
it,
they'll have to
understand.
contract. I don't offer that
Right,
service, but they'll have to contract and have a signature to prove before we go forward with it, to prove that they'll have it serviced every so many months.
Okay,
And that'll be between them and another contractor. Unfortunately, probably out of a different county because there's not many around doing that.
I see, yeah. Any other questions? If
No.
not, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Was, I didn't notice, was there, I thought I saw there wasn't any comment from the notices mailed out from from neighbors or the golf course or?
No written comments were received. We did receive one phone call from an attorney representing an estate a couple blocks away, and they just wanted to know the details of it. They didn't express either concern or thought it was actually a good idea. That is an improvement to water quality should the project go forward. So
Okay, thanks, Eric.
I would make a motion to approve this variance with the attached conditions as it is written.
Okay,
Second.
okay. The motion has been made to approve the variance request as written with the conditions, and Elizabeth has seconded it. Is there any discussion? If not, we can take a vote. All those in favor say aye.
I,
All those opposed say nay. The variance is granted, and I will read the conditions for the appeal. All decisions by the Board of Adjustment in granting variances or in hearing appeals from any administrative order, requirement, decision, or determination shall be final, except that any aggrieved person or persons or any department, board of commission of the jurisdiction or of the state shall have the right to appeal within 30 days after receipt of the notice of the decision to the district court in the county in which the land is located on questions of law and fact. Any party that would like to submit an appeal to the decision